So every
So
time
you went in thinking that, or did you actually say it out loud?
I told myself they have to remember me for these 2 minutes.
Okay.
I can't just be part of the show.
Yes.
I want to be that show.
Okay.
Yes, so I went every week, would go out and interview winners. I do those activations for MTN. So I I did all antics on on set. Like I spoke to the camera, it was so cool. I high-fived people. Oh, the energy was amazing. So every Sunday when the show aired, like even Abe would introduce it with like so much people, like you guys were like in Kalerwe, Brian was there. Oh my God. We went in.
Okay.
And that show literally, I think got me set for the next level.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was with a big brand.
Yeah.
Everyone, like most of the viewers were watching because people like winning free things.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so people.
Because you're hoping the whole time that your number.
Yeah, every time I would go somewhere, like, hey, Brayo, mane nyumba jipe nyumba yange, like So I became famous also.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and at the time, Peter Katonene had traveled, so he was initially doing a show on NTV, and it had taken a break.
Okay.
And I got a call to come and do Trickstars.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how I got onto Trickstars. And
How long were you on Trickstars?
wow, it was so long I don't even remember.
Because then, when did you start on Minibuzz then?
So when did I start on Minibuzz?
You see?
I think I started Minibuzz in 2011.
Okay.
I think.
So you were on Trickstars for a couple of years? That long, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. But this was always like a side thing, though?
Yes, so TV was a side thing because I was still working with Watoto.
Okay.
Yeah, or just record the episode for that week and go and do, other things. Sometimes, this crazy day, I left Gulu in the morning,
Yes.
came on a bus, recorded, went back.
Okay.
Like that's how much
So
I
you left
started
the guests there,
Yes.
came, did your gig, went back?
Went back.
Okay.
And then when they found out that I was on TV, they were like, dude, why didn't you tell us you're famous? Like, do you know where we come from?
If someone's on TV, man.
Like, what? Then they started connecting the dots, like at the airport, people would say, hey, Brian. Like, oh, no wonder people know you so much. Like, yeah.
So the whole time, what? They just thought that we were just
I
super
was a
friendly.
good guy. So, if you're doing tour guiding business, you literally know everyone.
Yeah, you have
when you go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
because you're, a customer, people know you. But they started thinking, oh,
Okay.
now it makes sense that you're not just a tour guide, you are, famous. I'm like,
So were you enjoying the attention of
I was
TV?
really starting to enjoy the attention.
Okay.
But also, I think I discovered that Trickstars was not just about being on TV. I really enjoyed like changing people's lives. Like you meet someone you don't know and they tell you, my God, that thing you showed on Sunday, let me tell you a story. And then there's like, it was you who saved me. I'm like, oh, okay. That's really cool, you
Yeah.
know. So that became my driving, kind of force. If on any day I woke up and I was too tired to record, I was like, no, you're going to save someone's money. You're going to save someone's property.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we had a fantastic crew of actors who really brought out the entire plot, and yeah.
I mean, some of the scams, should I say? I mean, I can imagine many of them are like what people go through in real life.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time that any of you were in danger somewhat or were threatened because of what you were doing?
I don't. Okay, I don't want to say this. Maybe was danger, but one day a con artist called me and said, "I am Brian Mulondo."
No way.
Yes. Jebale Kosebo. Nze Brian Mulondo. I'm like, gwani? Nze Brian Mulondo. Tukubidde wano okuva mu Airtel. Tulina sente. Owangudde. I'm like,
Are you serious?
what? Like, I am
What did
Brian
you say?
Mulondo.
I know, because he's using.
I was so shocked, I hung up.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. So and then when I experienced that, I was like, this thing is actually real now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so.
Someone took on your identity.
Yeah.
And God knows how many people out there are like, can you imagine that Brian Mulondo guy?
Yeah, and later when I started doing the morning show on NTV, one member of parliament came to NTV and she's like, you need to fire this guy. He's a con artist. He's conned me of my money. He's even conned honorable this, honorable that, honorable this.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what? So of course I came in smiling. Hi. This is the one. So people do that.
Yeah, but it's funny how trusting people are.
Yeah.
Not just a phone call and someone stating who they are. It's weird how you can just believe this person. There's nothing.
And thank God the HR was very sober. Like, was like, so what did Brian take from you? Do you know, he called me, he told me that he's coming to cover my projects in my constituents. Okay. And then what? He told me to send him money. So you did? Yeah, I sent him 3 million. Like different members of parliament had sent money.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but we never see him. We've never seen him. I'm like,
But that's
yeah,
also
but I have
another really, we're gullible.
Yes.
You send money to someone you have never met.
never met. Well, you've met them on TV, so you know
Yeah,
he's
this is
real.
the one-on-one
Yeah,
connection.
you know he's real.
They listen to you on radio, they're like, yeah,
this guy is
guy.
legit. This
Yeah.
guy is legit. So when that happened, I was like, oh my goodness, I really need to now be serious about this show.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing, I think, 36 seasons of Trickstars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until we were out of steam. Like, oh, guys,
Like, we've done it all.
we've really done it all. Yeah. But now it's back on TV. It's airing on Spark TV.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's good to see people just being enlightened.
Again.
I fell in love.
So when did radio come into play then? Are we going to remember the years for this one?
How did I join radio? So when I stopped doing Trickstars,
Yes.
actually didn't stop doing Trickstars. Around the time, there was a gentleman called Joe Munene. He was at he was the manager of NTV. He connected me with the owners of Minibuzz.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was doing Trickstars, and I think when they came to pitch the concept, I think they asked him, we're looking also for TV hosts.
Okay.
And he calls me, he's like, Brian, come to my office. Now, of course, I was like, crap, what have I done? Now what have I done? I've been good. Maybe salary increment, okay, let's go. So I get in there, 2 guys, white guys, and they tell me about this show. And Joe is like, this is the only guy I know who can do a show like that. So when they showed me one of the episodes, I'm like, this looks like a very difficult show. He's like, yeah, I'm glad you said that, because most of the people we've talked to say it's so easy, they'll just do it.
No.
I'm like,
Getting
no.
people to interact like that?
Yes.
No way.
I'm like, I don't think I have that personality of begging people to, to do things.
Okay.
I can host the show, but I hope you are going to hire someone to call people. Because that's not going to be part of my KPIs. So they're like, we are real. You're the first person who has said that to us.
Who's
And
understood the show.
yeah, so because of that, we are hiring. You come tomorrow and meet us, sign the contract.
Okay.
I'm like, what? Just like that? Yeah. So when I got there, I meet Anne Kansini.
Is that the first time you ever met
That's
her?
the first time I had ever met Anne. I used to watch her on stage.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
Doing
is
her
this a
stand-up.
short girl? Okay, funny. Ah. So when I met her there, I'm like, oh, you're the short girl from Fun Factory. She's like, yes.
That's terrible.
Like,
I'm gonna
yes.
be a short
I'm
girl.
like, okay, so you're the one I'm going to work with. Like, yeah. So even her at the time,
Yes.
she was like, but for you, I see you on TV.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I was like the celeb there. I'm like, yeah, better know it. I'm a celeb here. Yeah, but the chemistry was awesome. Like right away, she was funny. I laugh at everything. I almost laugh at everything, really. So I brought the serious part of the show. She brought the hilarious part, and oh, that show was hectic, you guys. It was so hectic. So you had to be out at every stage by 7 a.m. Take people.
Yes.
Sometimes traffic is bad. Sometimes people just get into the car and they don't want to talk.
Yes.
They just want the free ride. I'm like, no, get out. So one day we're like, some of he's like, but you're the ones who told me to enter the car. I'm like, yes, but it was on condition that you talk. Say something. The guy jammed. So we just left him. We drove.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, but it was, again, it was also a show that really changed people's lives.
Yes.
So for me, as long as something is about that, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then during Minibuzz, I met a friend who just talked to me about, I think, hitting targets when the older you get and stuff. So he's like, Brian, you can't just be doing Minibuzz.
Okay.
You need to do something else.
At that point in time, were you just doing Minibuzz?
Yes.
Oh.
Actually, I was. And Minibuzz paid me so much money, like I didn't need a second job.
Okay.
So I resigned at Watoto
And
and
you
started
focused
doing
on that.
Minibuzz. But it paid me well to be able to just go in at midday, leave. So it's like, dude, you just can't be that.
Okay.
What? You're going to approach Jesus' age. I'm like, what? Yeah, you can't just be. That's
But
one
you were
thing.
comfortable at that point.
I was comfortable. I was fine.
Because for the longest time, you were juggling
Every-
so many different things. So I
Yes.
think you were also just taking a break at that
Yeah.
point.
It was good to go back home at midday and sleep,
Yeah.
Crystal, and sleep. Come back rejuvenated, you know. Do like visit friends, or
Have a
just
life.
have a life. So he told me, find something else you can do. And so one day I was passing by Watoto, and then who was the general manager? I don't remember the general manager. He's like, dude, what are you doing with your life now? I'm like, I'm doing Minibuzz, that's the only thing. Like, really? Why don't you just come for a voice test? I'm like, okay. Ben, I think.
Ben Mwine?
Ben Mwine.
Uh-huh.
Like, just come. What will you lose? So I go in. They shelved my voice test for years.
Were you expecting something to
Years.
happen?
Yeah, I was like, get me in there. So when they didn't call me, I called a lady called Belinda Katende. And I tell Belinda, but Belinda, I can do a good job. You see me here. I'm not in there. I sell myself. I don't like I talk about my abilities. So I told her, give me a chance. Let me go in. If I don't really rock, you can chase me.
Yeah.
So I went in, did a voice test with the girl I was going to do the show with, Becky. Yeah?
Yeah.
And Becky's like, oh, I think we can start.
Okay.
I joined the show in the evening. It was called Cruise Control. So when I was done with Minibuzz, I would then go and do Cruise Control in the evening.
Okay.
So that's how radio was born. I really never knew anything. Then they left me to run the desk for one day. Becky got sick. Becky.
And had you learned how to run it?
No. It's like, dude, you've been watching her go.
It's not
I'm
the
like,
same thing.
Yes. I've been
need to be
enjoying.
trained.
Yes. So they were watching from the production, glass. So I did well, and that's how I started radio.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that for a couple of years, and left Power FM. Did the morning show at NTV.
Yes.
Yeah, also the morning show at NTV, I was tired of Minibuzz. I needed to just step back and see where my life goes. And Peter Igaga calls me. He's like, dude, come. We have a morning show we've always wanted to start. Come and do this show.
Okay. Were you comfortable in that role? Because it was a lot more serious.
Yes.
A lot more, yeah.
So, and many people really doubted my ability to do the show. So what I was given was a lighter role on the show. Do, interviews with people, everyday life, and not the hard stuff. But I had to wear a suit.
Yes. Did you ever feel the pull, though, towards doing news and that side of things? Like
that came while I was doing, morning at NTV.
Okay.
One day, one of the presenters is not there. Mabel was not around, and I had to do her segment, which was news.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had to anchor with paper, and when I was done, I hear the producer of the show saying, "Has this guy ever read news?" And everyone was like, no. Like, why isn't he on news? And he did this without a teleprompter. I'm like, yeah. So even when Simon Kasiate walked on set, he started asking me, dude, were you using a teleprompter? I'm like, no, it's the paper is here. He's like, you're actually good. You should try it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I joined news.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, did a screen test with Josephine.
Yes.
I went on. I was like, yeah. Yeah, so that's how I joined news. It was never really part of the plan.
Okay.
And
It's
I
not
got to enjoy
something
news.
You got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did that for also a while.
2 years. Yeah.
And then
I did that for 2 years. And then
what happened?
do we have time for this? Isn't this where you go for a break?
But you know what I'm getting is that you're just like, okay, every opportunity that comes, you're like, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a try. Okay. So
I think that's how my life has been. But that's actually a very good observation.
yeah.
Like, it was never, all I wanted was to be on TV, right? It was not that, oh, I'm going to pursue this thing. I think for me, when life brought an opportunity, I was like, what do I have to lose to do it?
Yes.
Yeah? I don't want to wake up one day and I say, I wish I had tried it. So even the news thing came, like people, I had to talk to like several people to actually confirm that.
So at that point, you weren't too sure?
Yeah, I was still not sure. I'm like, but news, I find news boring. No offense, but I found that all the news anchors were just like, go read the news, go away.
It was very limiting.
Yes.
No chance for your personality to.
So I felt like my personality would never be accepted on the news. And I really struggled with it, really struggled. I had to convince myself that you can actually do it. And of course, you know, having to work with like really professional people like Josephine Karunji, it kind of also helped me because like she would call me out like, dude, no, it's not the time for this.
Okay.
You need to do this. You need to do this. So I had to shape up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly. Also, like social media had really started to sting people. Like as you're reading, it was, you know, live news. You're reading, and you see a comment during the break. Yes. So I had to shape up quickly to just fight off that.
Yes.
And luckily, I can say that I think for the time I was on news, I changed the delivery of news. You know, we started having like these massive CNN-like intros for the news, you know, with graphics popping out of the ground. Yeah, that was during my regime.
Because you're a lot more comfortable moving around. Because also for the longest time, news anchors were always stuck.
Yes.
But now we're seeing at least they're fluid.
They walk. But also during one of the meetings, we were told, guys, young people are not watching news. Young people and women. How do we get them to watch news? Yeah. Is the news boring? Yes, it is boring. Make it exciting. So come and walk in, you know, for the guys. You know, have six-pack, look good, right? Wear a fitting suit, like really look good. Yeah. Okay, what makes young people watch whatever they watch? The presenter must be nice looking.
Yes, they need to be easy on the eye.
Yes, the kazungu must be, you know, so I would like, what are you guys? I would bring, and I use those bombastic words. That's what excites young people, yeah? They give a new story, twist it to make it, you know, more relatable to the young people.
But the funny thing, I think because you were changing, and I'm sure there were also more complaints coming in as well, like, now what are these guys doing?
They've brought a comedian to that show, to that news. Hey, some guy hammered me properly, told me. No, I tweeted Umeme, I was like, hi Umeme. There's one of the staff about have their child at work today. You're playing with their power. This guy replied, like, yeah, like NTV hired a failed comedian to anchor. You guys. I was hurt that I started laughing. I was so hurt and I just started laughing. Like, hey, this guy might be abused me properly. But I was like, but I'm not a comedian. I've never wanted to be a comedian. I'm just a presenter who enjoys what he does. Yeah. So anyway, I had Banang, if I suffered.
Sorry, I'm feeling it.
I suffered so much. Yeah, so I had, every time I went on set, I was like, okay, Brian, you have so many different segments of people to reach out to, so do your thing.
Okay.
So when you meet someone you really respect so much and they tell you, I actually thought you couldn't do this, but I'm pleasantly surprised that you've turned out to be a, you know, better news anchor. And I started also reading more. So during interviews, like I was, I was aware. I asked critical questions.
That's the most important thing.
Yes,
most important.
Yeah, so like, even after an interview, like I would sit down with Josephine and she's like, I think you shouldn't have asked this. Maybe you'd have asked it like this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So then, and I would also call people.
You had that constant guidance.
Yes, yes. Because I really don't like being embarrassed. So I would do anything to protect myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so that helped me a lot. I really enjoyed news.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot.